997. One of those damp, restless seasons when the night seemed endless and the fog clung low to the ground like a living thing. I was 27, drifting through life after losing a steady job in the city and scraping by with freelance photography. Weddings, birthdays, the occasional bar event. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid enough for rent and gas. That night, I had finished shooting a small-town anniversary party, the kind with cheap balloons and the smell of fried food hanging in the hall. It was nearly midnight when I loaded my camera bag into the trunk of my old 1985 Chevy Caprice and started the 2-hour drive back. The road was silent, deserted, swallowed in mist. My headlights tunneled through the fog, illuminating only a few feet ahead. On the passenger seat sat my road atlas, its pages folded and frayed, and the cassette deck played a faint Rolling Stones track that crackled with static. No cell phone, no GPS back then. You relied on paper maps and instinct. I just wanted to get home, collapse into bed, and forget the loneliness that had been gnawing at me for months. That was the night I met her, the Hitchhiking Girl. She appeared suddenly in the mist, a slim figure standing at the shoulder of the highway, thumb raised hesitantly. She wore a pale dress under a dark jacket, far too thin for the cold, and her long hair clung damp to her face. She didn't look much older than 20. I slowed down, heart thudding. It wasn't unusual to see hitchhikers back then, but not at this hour, not on this stretch of road. I rolled down the window, the night air biting my skin. "You need a ride?" I asked. She nodded once. No smile, no hesitation. The door creaked as she slid in. The moment she shut it, a sharp chill filled the car. My breath fogged in front of me, though the heater hummed low. She sat perfectly still, hands folded in her lap, eyes fixed straight ahead. "Where are you headed?" I asked. Her voice came after a long pause, low and uneven. "Home." Nothing more. We drove in silence. I tried to focus on the road, but the atmosphere inside the car felt wrong, as though she carried the night in with her. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw her shoulders tremble, like she was shivering or crying. Then it happened. A hollow knock echoed through the walls of the car, not outside, but from somewhere within, like someone tapping from the trunk. My hands tightened on the wheel, and I jerked slightly, tires hissing against the wet asphalt. "Did you hear that?" I asked, my voice tight. She didn't move, didn't even blink, only whispered, "Keep driving." After several miles, she began to speak again. Short commands: "Turn left here. Take the next right." Directions that dragged us off the highway and awe-cracked, forgotten lanes that wound through dark woods. The road atlas on the seat showed nothing. Blank spaces where towns should been. My stomach nodded, but I kept driving. Her voice had a pull to it, like disobeying wasn't an option. The farther we went, the darker it grew. No street lights, no houses, only the faint buzz of a flickering bulb from the occasional abandoned gas station we passed. My old Chevy rattled, engine protesting, as if it didn't want to continue. That's when I heard it, a faint humming, tuneless and wrong, coming from her side of the car. She stared ahead, lips moving in a rhythm I couldn't place, humming a broken lullaby that chilled me more than the cold air. Finally, after what felt like an hour of turns that led nowhere, she spoke again. Up ahead, through the fog, loomed a house, 2 stories, leaning to one side, its windows black as holes. The porch sagged, and the wood was gray with rot. "This is where I live," she whispered. Every instinct screamed at me not to approach, but my foot pressed the brake. She stepped out, pale dress fluttering in the wind. Against all reason, I followed. The porch groaned beneath unseen weight as we climbed. The front door opened with a sigh, though no one touched it. Inside, the air was damp and heavy. Somewhere deeper within, I heard the steady dripping of unseen water. The girl glided forward, feet silent on the warped floorboards. Mine creaked with every step. The living room looked abandoned for decades. Furniture lay shrouded in dusty sheets. Cobwebs webbed across corners. From upstairs came the faint creak of a chair rocking back and forth on its own. I whispered, "What is this place?" No answer. Then something tapped against the window glass behind me. I spun around, flashlight beam shaking. Nothing but my warped reflection in the cracked pane. A sound rose from beneath the floorboards, a woman's sob, faint but clear, echoing through the night. The girl stopped at a narrow door at the end of the hall. She turned her head slightly, her face pale, lips thin. "She's waiting," she said. "You have to meet her." The door swung open, revealing stairs that vanished into blackness. From below came a rustling, like fabric moving when nothing was there. My flashlight flickered. Halfway down, the scraping of nails against wood erupted around me, like something crawling through the walls. My chest tightened, breath ragged. But she kept moving, soundless, down into the dark. At the bottom, the basement opened wide. Concrete walls, shelves of rotting boxes, puddles reflecting the weak beam of my light. Water dripped rhythmically from above, a heartbeat in the silence. That's when I saw her. In the far corner stood another figure, hunched, hair hanging in damp strands. Her body swayed slightly, emitting low, guttural breathing close to my ear, though she was across the room. The sound vibrated in my skull. The girl stepped forward, arms out. "Mama." The woman raised her head. Her face was pale, lips torn, eyes hollow pits. She opened her mouth, and a scream tore out, then cut off too suddenly, leaving silence that roared louder than sound. Chains dragged across the floor as she lurched forward, each step marked by the sharp clang of metal against metal. I stumbled back, flashlight beam jerking. The girl turned, eyes black in the dim light. "You brought him here," she said, her voice layered with others. From upstairs came a distant thud, like something heavy falling, followed by the groan of pipes that sounded too human. I bolted, crashing against the stairs, scrambling up, chased by whispers threading through the silence. My own name echoed in a dozen voices. I burst into the night air, sprinted to my Chevy, and slammed the door shut. The engine roared to life after a choking cough. In the rearview mirror, I saw her standing at the road's edge, pale dress billowing. Her eyes locked onto mine. Then she was gone. I drove until dawn, never slowing. No map, no landmarks. I just needed distance. Weeks later, I convinced myself it was exhaustion, a hallucination from too much caffeine and not enough sleep. But the evidence never left. Scratches appeared inside my trunk, deep and deliberate. At night, I sometimes woke to the sound of an eerie lullaby sung off-key. Once, while washing dishes, I heard something tapping against the window glass. When I looked, it wasn't my reflection staring back, it was hers. Last night, it happened again. The rattling of a locked doorknob in my hallway, the faint patter of bare feet on stone floors that don't exist in my apartment, and then a voice calling my name from the darkness. It was her, the hitchhiking girl, and I know now she never left the car that night.